They have 10 minutes to complete the entire course, but it's not a race. It doesn't matter if they finish in 59 seconds or if they finish in 9 minutes and 59 seconds, as long as they finish before their timer hits 0. Then they pick up their points. All of them. Now, they are going through a series of gates that are set up in a way, if you look at the beginning of each course, there's a big sign kind of up in the air, B1, B2, B3, and so on. And there's a map on each of those posts. If you looked at it, you wouldn't really understand it. But it's a guide for these teams telling them that they must go in a certain order through certain gates. The gates are pairs of cones, a left cone and a right cone, or a right
I'm not watching him, I'm watching this.
You must pass that through them in a certain direction that's shown on the map, and it's, you know, you spin the car around 180 degrees and back up through them. You have to follow a certain order, and as you pass through those cones, you have to go through gate 1 first, gate 2 second, gate 3 third, and so on until you're out the exit gate. But there are some other cones up there, a little bit taller. They've got a decal on them normally that says bonus on them. On the map it may say, hey, you can do gate 2, or if you so choose, you can do bonus gate 2, which will give you bonus points that... I noticed Brian Cooper walking by here. Brian has some Blue Oyster Cult tickets to give away today. Brian Cooper from Off Limits 4x4, our Rocks team number 207 in the white Geo Tracker, but we'll talk with him a little later. Alright, now again, they can hit a cone, and they get a 10-point penalty.
That truck starts coming down the hill.
A driver's side cone and a passenger side cone. If they hit the driver's side cone, they get dinged for 10 points, and that cone remains in place for their next score.
So you got to get the hell out of the way.
Which means, well, you know what, that's a little confusing. Once you hit a cone, you don't get any additional points if you hit it again. You can just keep hitting it and hitting it and hitting it. Doesn't matter. Drive right over it, just barely nick it off a big vertical drop in that black and red Jeep on obstacle B2, that is. We call that the trail ride course because it is a long course. The vertical drop is the wheelbase of the Jeep. And it's not vertical, it's about 80 degrees. Ladies, you can do this in your car. Ouch. That is bound hard right now. Ooh. Oh, he's got no front drive on. He has no front ARB. I'll explain that in a minute. Alright, back to the point. The other way to gain points is by hitting the other cone, the right-hand cone, the left-hand cone, doesn't matter. The more cones you hit, the more penalty points you get until you've reached the maximum of 40.
Over there.
Okay, the next way to get points. See those stringer pennants that make up the boundaries of the little boundary lines? The teams are allowed to touch them with their vehicle. However, once they touch them, they get a warning. If they drive any further into them, they get a 10-point penalty.
What a great picture, huh?
So, they don't want to touch those boundary lines. They just need to stay away. If they go too far outside of them, there's some rules out in there, but they can be to counterbalance the vehicle or help pull the front end down on a big climb so they get traction to drive up. That's 8 points worth of penalties. So, a number of ways to gain penalties. Very nice job, team, those gals. Crystal McAuliffe and Christy Trinka over here, by the way, on obstacle P3 coming down that pig slide in the gray Jeep, number 629. And they'll finish this course. Alright, we'll get to any additional rules in a little bit, but you should understand the basics. Now right now, if you just happen to get a look at the number 629, as she came around that corner, she was using a special technique called front dig, or front burn. That means they'll disengage the rear wheel drive. They'll be in front wheel drive only, and they use the rear brakes. And because the front tires start to break traction, they get real slippery. Whichever way they steer the front tires, the front end will skid that vehicle left or right. They can also do that with the rear tire.
Someone gets 9 points if he hits out of the cone. There's 9 points. That's pretty bad.